sickos in the chat because it is time for nobody's favorite segment, and it is called So again, Meltzer said what? We have Tryin' Brian here. Okay. This is a throwback to June. We've already covered this. A little Tryin' Brian, though. I told you guys we're gonna be still roasting Dave and Brian.
Oh my God,
and
it's the greatest thing.
Brian.
Everyone in the show. All your favorite fools will still be on the live show. Don't worry. We're just Dave Meltzer is, I've got so much material on the guy. And so here's just a throwback to Brian admitting neither he or Dave actually believe BJ Bethel's 500K max streaming numbers. BJ Bethel is like our kingpin fool of the evening here, okay, throughout this sicko segment.
This guy here says, Brian, Dave is insistent AEW does 500,000 streaming, despite that running basically against what WBD said. Do you believe they do 500,000? Okay, first off, that's incorrect. He does not believe that. What he has said is that nobody seems to have a real number, and that the closest we have to anyone claiming to have a number through sources at WBD is BJ Bethel, who claimed 500,000. Now, Dave himself has said that sounds really high.
But then he sources BJ Bethel all the time, Brian.
And I agree. And the thing with streaming is we don't know anything about anything. Like, what does any of this even mean?
Exactly. So, Dave, tell that to your boss, bud. That's all I have to say about that. But we move along here, and Meltzer said what, quote tweets this, and he says, the lying high school sports reporter, blowjob brothel, a.k.a. BJ Bethel, who just by sheer coincidence is also an AW stan, is the guy the oxygen-deprived think has connections that Adam Silver and Tony Khan don't. Jesus Christ, some show, huh? So, BJ Bethel says in the least breaking news, Gail Kim. So, Gail Kim got attacked. We've chronicled this on the show a bunch. We talked about Dave versus Gail Kim versus Brett Lauderdale, Gail Kim versus Rio, etc. So BJ Bethel tweets, in the least breaking news, Gail Kim contacted several people about an opportunity at AEW at some point, no longer than a couple weeks ago. No one reached out to her. So then Gail Kim is like, I don't know you, but this is a perfect example of someone lying and has zero integrity. At least when I say what I say, I'm saying what I feel and I'm truthful and will defend myself with facts. Zero integrity here. So again, BJ just getting goddamn owned like a dummy. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now there's more of this throughout this evening, throughout this segment, okay? So let's move along here. Gail Kim responds, Triple H's thoughts, weighs in, friend of the show. He says, imagine having no credibility and no sources, but continuing to make up stories to reach for any sort of relevancy and attention because Meltzer ran with your last lie for his own false narrative. The lack of shame it takes to reach so hard for Meltzer brownie points is astounding. Now, here's the thing that I want to point out. Dave and BJ Bethel, when Eric Bischoff uses words like it's a circle jerk, it's masturbatory and all this, okay? Dave and BJ Bethel, this is what he means. Like, they're jerking each other off. These guys hump each other. They're retweeting each other because they're bros and stuff. And Dave can sit there and go, I don't believe that number seems high, but he doesn't deny it. He sources BJ Bethel. I mean, it's one report. It's the only credible thing we have. Meanwhile, BJ's like not credible at all. And he's just a king sicko. And he had to jump because he saw Dave jumping on Gail Kim. BJ doesn't give a shit about Rio or any of this shit. He's just attacking Gail Kim because Dave Meltzer and all these sickos went after her, and it's just bot activity. It's just NPC. Like, none of you matter to the great, you're just spurging out, trying to just tell people lies to make AEW seem more popular than it is. Why? Because you're trying to get jobs there. You are getting paid. You're friends with Tony Khan. He took you on a nice dinner. Like, what is it? I bookmarked this like 3 times. So Town Sports says Bethel retweeted tweets that make his story inaccurate is hilarious. And that's when Triple H's thoughts say it's a race to the bottom. Wait until Sanjay confirms Gail's story and he still sticks to it. So BJ says that's what she said about it. I'm obviously going to post her response. I also stick by what I reported. So Gail came out and told the real story. Like, no, I never tried to work there, or whatever the story was exactly, right? And then he's just like, nah, I stick by what I reported. I stick by it. Even though it's what Dave does as well. He won't retract it if you study and learn, Well, it changed. It's like, yeah, dude, you don't get the benefit of that when you're the news guy. Like, I'm not the news guy. I'm the I react to shit guy. So I'm allowed to react to shit and be stupid and funny whenever the fuck I want. Dave, you don't have that benefit. BJ, you want to be taken seriously as a fucking reporter? You don't get the benefit of that. You don't get the benefit of being like, well, we ran these fake polls and all this shit. Oh, I don't believe that number, but it's the only credible report we have and shit. Like, you can't just be like, well, things develop. And I mean, I was just going what I was told and shit. I mean, you just don't get the benefit of that when you're like the news guys or whatever, you know? So BJ says, worst people ever. Bots are posting, but someone's paying for it. Meanwhile, I mean, LoPiccolo got attacked by like a paid fucking bot farm. LoPiccolo got attacked by like a paid bot farm. Allegedly. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I haven't seen him say that. I'm just saying like all the fucking, just all these bots out of nowhere with like 2 followers, 12 followers. NoDQ.com follows all of them. Moving along here. LoPiccolo's beefing with BJ. He's like, I'm just doing this for sport at this point. This guy maliciously attacked me, attempted to defame me, boosted this post to 134K views, and blocked me all within 10 minutes. Sorry, but I'm going to constantly remind everyone that you have zero credibility and zero backbone. So he DM'd BJ and he's like, tell me how stupid I am, please. Yeah. Of course, some people don't like that, man. They just want to talk shit. And then when you DM them and are like, yo, just fucking tag me or DM me. And then they don't want to talk shit anymore. Then they just want to block you and talk shit about you that way. An agent shouldn't be this stupid, BJ says. And yeah, LoPiccolo just pointing out, like, look at the views this got. You know, he does the put him in a coffin meme and then he goes classy. Jesus Christ, asshole. It doesn't mean like they want you fucking dead. It's just like a meme. But LoPiccolo says this PR hit is part of we covered all this way before. It's part of a smear campaign targeting me and the former AEW talent now thriving in WWE, represented by Paradigm. And like Tony Khan, here's the problem is that BJ Bethel and Dave Meltzer have fucked up, okay? What was the headline recently? Jack Harlow turns down Tony Khan's, he wants to use this song. Jack Harlow turned him down. Well, who represents Jack Harlow? Huh? Maybe your fucking buddies should like stop being, they're just ruining shit for you. This is what everybody's tried to say about AEW since day one. Dave and BJ, who just popped up out of nowhere, and these types of assholes are just going to fucking ruin the company for you. And that's what's happened. It's going downhill, and you have morons like this. Fucking shilling, I guess. Is it even shilling? Who knows? But Adam Pearce had this to say. We're going to circle back to that. So Adam Pearce says, have you ever been, or Ringside News says, have you ever been targeted by a fake WWE accounts or seen someone else fall for it? Yeah, we all have. So what they write is Adam Pearce blows up on scammers pretending to be WWE stars. He's like, well, it was going for a while, but holy hell is it back and forth for. So here we go. Ready? No one from WWE, not a single solitary soul, not a living, breathing human being employed by the company known as WWE is asking you or anyone you know online for money or to date, not for gift cards, not for car notes, not for mortgage payments, not for Bitcoin. That's a new one. Not for non-existent VIP cards, not for a goddamn thing. And it's good that he's calling it out, I get it. Wrestlers deal with this shit and they don't want to bring attention to it. But yeah, it is getting out of hand. Scams just in general, like everything, text, phone, email, the fucking DMs, it's everything's Robetronic and everything's a fucking phishing scam. So it's quite unfortunate that he has to even say that. But yeah, exactly. They're asking for cryptos and shit. It's like, get the fuck out of here. So this guy here says, if I'm Triple H, Nico here says, if I'm Triple H, I'm booking Nia Jax every week and having her eat pins until every woman in the entire company has pinned her consecutively. If she doesn't want to do it, show her the damn door. What she did to Jade Cargill was on purpose. Enough is enough. And then Baron Corbin's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about. Boom, roasted. This guy here, Visionary Mike, and I think this was more playful, but it's just a funny it's fun, right? We try to keep the sicko segment lighter than it once was. So Visionary Mike says, type of picture you keep in your locket before you go to war, right? And it's Mariah May looking like one of the Dudley boys. And then, or Blake Monroe rather, and Blake goes, "Y'all don't even go to work." That shit is funny. Boom, roasted. So again, we have Michael Elgin is a topic of discussion here. Okay. And we've covered a couple of his, like, I guess you want to call them meltdowns, a couple of melties. He had one on Jordan Grace not long ago, right? I don't know, he's just been vocal about shit. He's like calling out Scott D'Amore and Callis and shit. Well, he starts calling out Sean Ross Sapp here and Dave Meltzer. And so he talks to Raj Giri. So Raj Giri sees Sean Ross Sapp at a football game. They snap a flick together. And then Mike Elgin goes, "I can't wait to see him in public. I hope it's soon." Right? And then someone's like, "Why?" And he's like, to ask him why he's a bitch or whatever. So this post is unavailable. I'm not sure why, but Sean said something and I guess he deleted it. Okay, maybe it's screen grabbed up here, so I don't know. But Elgin's like, "Let's go, Sean. Why don't I get booked? Because I'm not talented? No, because people like you spread accusations and never go back where they are proven false." So this is like an extension of what he was saying about D'Amore and I think Callis and Jordan Grace and shit, right? He was fucking, they said they wouldn't release me, then they released me and all that stuff, right? So he's like, you couldn't hack it as a wrestler, started a website, put over Black Label so you could get in the ring because you couldn't hack it. Want to tweet about rubbing thighs? So drop the thigh rubber on his ass. Oh, I wish I seen what he saw, what he said there. See what he saw. So mission accomplished. Have a good night, everyone. So then he reveals it was like all a ruse. So Michael Elgin goes, "Mission accomplished. Have a good night, everyone. I've been trying to tell you, chess, not checkers. He was always going to take the bait. He relies on social media to have a website so he can feel like he's a part of the business. You know who you are. You owe me $50. I won the bet." So this is like a ruse. He's like, "Oh, dude, I pulled a fast one," right? He goes, "These marks aren't the only ones with group chats that make sense fun if people. These marks aren't the only ones with group chats that make sense fun if people. Makes sense fun if people." It's like if you play a record backwards, right? I don't know what he was saying there. So he goes, hey, homie, cash at me that 50. I told you I'd get him to respond." So he's having like horse race bets. Oh, I think this is what Sapp said. So he said, "Fella, get over it. You're obsessed. You've lied about me not liking you because you didn't give me scoops. I don't think about you." There's like a random quotation there. So I think he's quoting, oh, no, it's there. "Because you don't give me scoops. I don't think about you. Quit picking fights with your own imagination." And then Elgin's like, "My bad. Haha. You were right. They're all the same." Well, not all. He's one of a kind when it comes to being a bitch. So Elgin really doesn't like this dude. He's calling people out. He's calling out fucking Jordan Grace. He's calling out fucking Scott D'Amore, Callis, now Sapp. He's just picking a fight with everybody here. And I guess that was like a $50 bet. Or did he Photoshop that image, right? Like, I don't know. But then he calls out Dave Meltzer, okay? And don't forget, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, every Thursday on the PWT YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. But, Meltzer got called out as well. All right, I'll give you a little.
Oh, my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But Elgin goes, "Could you please answer this, Dave? When This Is TNA announced they were going to investigate accusations against me, the 4 days later announced I was removed from programming. As a journalist, was it to your understanding, due to the public statements made by the company, that they had completed an investigation and found merit, so they fired me?" This is where it's like, okay, are we trying to leverage Dave into fucking like you? I don't know, dude. This is like trying to get Dave haters to be like, yeah, he shouldn't have been fired from TNA. I don't know, dude. Where does Dave, when This Is TNA announced they were going to investigate accusations against me, 4 days later announced I was removed from programming. As a journalist, was it to your understanding? So is he just like genuinely asking Dave a question here? Because that's the worst thing you can try and do, is be genuine to Dave Meltzer, dude. He'll just throw that shit in your face. That's absolutely, you can't do that, So I don't know if he's asking a real question. I know Elgin, he was in the DMs with, some of these guys trying to get his interview off and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, him and BJ Bethel, unfortunately, were the two gentlemen featured primarily in this Wednesday's segment that nobody likes. And it is called the Fucking amazing, guys. Fucking amazing. What an amazing show. How was Dynamite? How'd you guys enjoy it? Let me know. You guys let me know. Let me check in with chat here. Hopefully it's jumping.